Hello, was I on? Do you guys see me what I was just doing before? Um, was I on that whole time? I was trying to fix my phone that I normally have my Facebook broadcasting. I lifted up my table so that I could stand during this because I just feel like I don't need to sit. I don't need to sit right now because sitting is not useful, whatever. So I lifted my table. I'm working on the studio. We're getting it cleared out. Got a lot accomplished today. And I totally forgot to fix the tripod that holds up my iPhone so people can see me on Facebook do this. So tonight, nobody can see me on Facebook, only YouTubers, because I can't get my phone out of the thing and I can't lift it up. And I'm like, you know what? Not meant to be. So hello. For those of you who are just joining in for the first time, let me know where you're tuning in from. How'd you hear about this? The rest of you, just let me know where you're tuning in from, even though I know. So let's say, I thank you, Carrie. Thank you. Hello, Sue. Hello, Amber. I'm seeing so many coaching people. I feel like you guys must be sick of me. Marnie, hello, Greg, Jill, Maria, Shelly, McKeel, I missed somebody, Melissa, hello. It's Monday night, it's YouTube. I have energy, which I know where it's coming from. I was going to say, I don't know where it's coming from, but I do know where it's coming from. It's coming from being able to shift myself and do even more of what I love, which has completely opened me up. I knew it would, but it opened me up where I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I have to do now? I like waking up. This is weird. This is new for me. I usually don't like waking up. And I always said to myself, I knew too much about death. And I was like, I'm good if I ever pass. But no, I don't want to. I've got a lot of life to live. I'm loving the intuitive coaching, you guys. I am loving it. Why am I loving it? Because I know I rant and rave about humans and our behavior, but really what I rant and rave about is when we all act one way, and that's not true. Like when we all act like I'm peaceful and spiritual, and then we're stark raving lunatics. I rant about that, and I don't like that part of human condition. But what I do love is I love the human condition when we have a space to be open and vulnerable and honest about life. I love that. And I love people who are willing to do that work and to open up, and people who want to be introspective and want to say, this part of my life is not working and I'd really like to work on it. I like people who really try to see their own shit. I live for it. I love it. And so when I'm in the store and I'm thinking somebody's being kind of clueless about others, that's when I'm that's when I go ape shit. That's when I go yeah, I hate people. My God. And then I look inward and go, wow, Deb, you're so intolerant. But what I really love is an honest conversation about real life. I can't stand Facebook, you guys. Maybe that's why it's not working for me tonight. It's not why. I mean, I know why it's not working, but I can't stand it. Why? Because we're not real. We're so freaking not real on Facebook or social media. And it's cumbersome and nobody likes it. And we all talk about it and we're all like, oh my God. Or we're going, oh, look at so-and-so. They're on their 19th vacation. Isn't that nice? And no, they're not sharing their real shit. Right. And I love joy. I love to see when people are joyful and happy. But I like to see that once that person has been open and honest and real about what it took to get there. That's because we don't wake up living life and feeling like I got all my shit together and I'm amazing. We don't. I wish we did, but we don't. We go through these trials and tribulations and so much life and stuff. And then we wonder why we're all stark raving lunatics out there. We're stark raving lunatics because we can't be open, honest, and real. Let me read. Sue likes to be coached. Hello, Donna. Hello, Marianne. Hello, Cynthia. Hello, Christina from North Carolina. Kim. This is what I'm talking about. My dad's girlfriend will probably cross over tonight or tomorrow. It's why I've missed all my Zoom classes. That's the real stuff. That's the real stuff. So while we're in a store and we're wondering why so-and-so's behaving in a certain way, we don't know what's going on in people's lives. We just don't know. And when we don't know, we make assumptions and then we throw all this negative energy around. Right now, Kim and her father are grieving the potential and possible or inevitable death of somebody close. Like, that's horrible. So we will all send you good vibes. Plus, Kim is one of the most work at herself hard person. That was like totally improper English, but you are one of those people that is ready to look and willing to look and wanting to see how you learn and this and that, and then life is still going to happen to us. So when it's time for you to be back on to all the Zooms and all that, you will. And in the moment time, we will send you positive, wonderful, loving, true, authentic energy, and not the fake stuff. Amber, I've never felt safe enough to open up until now. That's a big deal. That's a big deal about we don't feel safe. We don't feel emotionally safe, because one, where's the forum to share the real stuff? How do we share the real stuff? When anyone does a class with me, the benefit and the con, if you can look at it that way, is that I know when someone's not being authentic to themselves and just kind of fluffing it, and I feel it and I call them out on it. And it's really wonderful. Well, it's wonderful for me. It's wonderful for you because that contributes to the safety, because we could have a really superficial coaching group, but we're not going to, because I'm not going to let superficial shit go by. I'm just not. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. Hello, Deb. Hey, Sue. Hey, Robin. Oh, what are your thoughts about kids going back to school? Are you sending the K-boys? I just heard this afternoon, my children go to Walk Hill School District. They're both at the high school. And we just got the call today that the opening is delayed until I think I said October 5th, which doesn't really totally surprise me. I was really, really happy for my one son who I knew was going to be thrilled. And I was really, really sad for my other son who I knew was going to be sad. Except my younger son was like, no, I'm totally thrilled with that. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm good. So I was like, okay, good. So I don't think schools are going to be able to open. I really don't. I just don't. Not under the climate of the universe. Things are too, or the country, I should say. I think things are still too nebulous and new. I don't think we've seen anything yet. My own personal belief. It's not political. We're not doing politics. I think we just need to get our act together as a country and just, clamp down, do one really good synchronized shutdown, even though New Jersey, Northeast, we've had it for a while. I think we need to do a synchronized shutdown, and then I think we'll be okay. But I was sending them if we were going, and whenever they do go, I will be sending them unless something else comes up. So, Kristen, how are you guys doing with that conversation? Like, what are all of you doing? Are you nervous? What are you nervous about? Are you nervous about your kids getting sick? You getting sick? Are you worried about your kids getting like an elderly grandparent sick, or, where are you all at with all of it? Not politics, though. Oh my God. Anyone mentions blue, red, white, well, I don't give a crap. Don't even go there. This is a safe spot. We don't want to trigger all of us. Kristen, first time here from Maryland, just started my book. I'm loving it. Wait, thank you, Kristen. Let me know how you heard about it. This is when my ego gets blown up. I'm like, wait, what? How'd you hear about my book? This is great. To see people holding space for each other. I have a light that's kind of in the way of my chat. Hold on. If I move the light, it's going to change the reflection, and then this is all going to go sour. You didn't like my family lake pictures? Didn't we look great? Well, Tony was being not EN. See. What do you mean I didn't like your family pictures? What are you talking about? I liked them. Shelly, If you don't think that I actually physically liked them, like on Facebook, I'm leaving Facebook completely. Hello, Carolyn. Hello, Sue. Hey, June in North Carolina. Ooh, yours are in pre-K, or kids are in pre-K and pre-pre-K. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you're the special educator, worried about my students are virtual until January. That's in Maryland. Carrie has lupus. Sophomore will not be going. I've already signed her up for online only. Yep. Hello, Patty. You're at the beach. Thank you. Oh, that's right. How was your day by yourself, Patty? Oh my God. How was that? That was such a huge thing you did for yourself. So, it's all these little things. Have a little curriculum and fun stuff. Being a stay-at-home mom helps. Enter button. That's funny. I don't know. Here's the thing. Like, I'm so fortunate that my children are in high school and college, and I can work from home, and I don't have to like breathe over my children. Although, watch, I'm saying this now, and in the first like 3 weeks, I'm going to get a message going like, yeah, Chris hasn't shown up for school, or Ben hasn't been to class. I'm going to be like, what? I thought I was being a good, attentive mother. But I don't know how you guys are doing it with little ones. I just don't know how you're doing it. How are you staying on top of the work? How are your kids sitting in front of a screen to watch a teacher? And you teachers, how drained are you thinking of having to redo all content, which kind of guessing based on the fact that I was a kid at one point, a lot of school is hands-on. So like, how do you do that? I don't know. I don't know what's right. I don't know. I'm so lucky my kids are older. And I do there's a part of me that thinks because now I'm busy with coaching. I'm 24/7 sort of working, loving it. But I keep thinking to myself, gosh, maybe I could help families who have nowhere to bring their kids, and maybe I could be their teacher. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I like people and I like humanity and I like children. But for me to think for 12 hot seconds that I could teach your children and be of help and service, I think I'm out of my mind when I think that. But I just want to help somebody. I just want to be like, oh, what single moms are out there or single dads are out there that need somebody, they have nobody? How could I help them? But I'm not your gal. I'm not. Like, the reality and the truth of that statement is I really want to help, but I would be a nightmare. I would be like, oh, okay, school, right. Do you know how to write your letters? Yeah, you do? Oh, you're 6th grade. Got it. Yeah, okay. 6th grade. Oof. Want to watch documentary called Heal? It's a great documentary on the holistic body and how we heal mentally, physically, and spiritually. Do you want to do that? That's what I would do, which I think is valuable information too. So I keep thinking in my mind that I'm going to help in some way, but the reality is I totally can't. Most nervous for my 3-month-old granddaughter with this. We're still being very careful. I wear a mask around her all times. So you're in Virginia, still DC, Virginia, right, Sue? Hello, Alexis. Do I think we're going to see a COVID resurgence? Yes. I know they stopped calling it, or I think they've stopped calling it a second wave, because there's that whole school of thought that like this isn't going away. Now my mind has gotten around that, like it's not going away. Like the flu didn't go away. We found ways to work with the flu. So I get it now, because before I really was thinking like, oh, it's gonna go away, so everything's gonna be fine, and I live with fairies and magical Puff the Magic Dragon and Santa, and unicorns come by. Now I realize, okay, that's a little unrealistic. This is a disease that spreads quickly, and we need to get control of it. We will get control of it, but it's not going away. Finally understood that. Now I forgot what the question was. Do I think we're going to see a resurgence? So I think I think it's going to be waves. I think it's I do think it's a thing. I'm not on board with the hoaxes, you know, when people think it's a hoax or not as bad as it's being stated. I don't think that's accurate at all. But I think going into that next, you know, the fall and the winter, I think we are all more prepared knowing, okay, you know, this is what we got. We got to wear masks. We've got to wipe down things. We've got to stay on top of it. We just have to be conscious. So I think on that regard, most of us are understanding that there's protocols that we have to do. So in that regard, I think we're in better shape than we were in March when nobody knew what was going on. And I even thought like, yeah, a month, we'll be fine. It's just about a month. Yeah, that was so not intuitive. It wasn't my best work, you guys. It was not my best work. I totally underestimated intuitively a global pandemic. So for the next global pandemic, I'm your girl. I'm just going to be like, everyone go rock in a corner and just hide and just wait for it all to pass. Yeah. You have to go in to give a speech. So Kyle is on his own. Oh boy. Yep. Your kids, Kyle's same age as a year older than Christopher. It's been a long battle. I'm home with my 7.5-year-old. I don't know if they will open. They say they will, but who knows? Where are you, Renee? What school district and what state? I'm out of my mind. Well, we knew that already. Yeah, I don't want to teach other people's children. No, I don't want to do that at all. Like, I will. I was going to say I'll scrub toilets, but no, not going to do that either. I need to know my limits. I just want to help. I just want to feel helpful. I want to feel helpful. So in whatever way I can be helpful to parents who are struggling by educating their children without me having to educate your children, let me know how I can be of help. Just maybe, I don't know. I can't. I can encourage you to drink heavily. And you know what? Looking back, did we ever really, like, did anybody ever really, like, go, oh, thank God I learned that in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 8th grade? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know it's got a couple years catching up, but, like, if my kids were little, I'd be like, it's just math. You're never going to need it. It's just spelling. You've got spell check. It's going to be fine. Maybe now is the time, this I'm being serious, maybe now is the time where music and art is more important than ever before because you need to find your creative, you know, sense emerging. I've never experienced math as a creative sense emerging. I usually associate math with complete panic and nervous breakdowns. So maybe now is the time to allow like our true selves to emerge. See what your children really enjoy and then start focusing on that. But I'm not your girl for that. I heard that too, Christina. I heard Sylvia Brown said something about it disappearing as quickly as it came about. Do you think she was really talking about COVID? Was she correct on her intuitions about it? I just saw what everyone else saw. I didn't read the book that she put this in or that it's in. So I've seen the social media posting about it, which I find fascinating. I'm actually really happy for her because while I never really cared for her disposition and her personality, I think she knew her stuff. And she was like crucified by the media. So I kind of love her having her time on the other side, being like, I told you, bitches. I told you. I know my stuff. So I kind of happy for Sylvia Brown. Way to go for Sylvia. Will it disappear? It might. I don't think it's not going away, but I think the fever pitch of the fear might go away. My brother is really into world international news through multiple sources that are, he's neither left or right. He freaks out on both sides equally. He doesn't associate with any particular party or train of thought. He just whatever. But he said, like, you know, why is the United States behind Honduras in the response to this? A third world country is doing better at their response to this. No, nothing about the president, whatever. So it's or politics. It's just kind of our country. It's the way we work. It's the way we handle this. Nobody knows what to do in a pandemic. It's all whatever, shit happens, let's move forward. But, you know, there are countries that are opening up. There are countries that have more autonomy. There are countries that never even closed schools. I didn't know this. So can we get closer to that? That would be great. Let's see. Very blessed to be home, to be able to do research, and I know. Oh my gosh, lockdown with toddlers. No. See, I do think like the universe heard my call at some point. I think I think the universe was like, you know what? This global pandemic, it's going to be this thing, right? When should we put it and drop it into society? And then I think the universe itself said until Deborah Hanlon's children are older, because I would have gone nuclear. I wouldn't know what to do. I don't know. Goshen. So Goshen School District. Okay. Do I think I was too close to it to pick it up? No. I don't think I was too close to it to pick it up. I think intuitively, why did I not pick it up? One, because I'm human and I don't, contrary to popular belief, I don't know everything. Don't tell everybody that though. And I could be wrong, and I'm totally fine with being wrong. Not really, but I'll deal with it. But my initial thing with this whole thing was such glee and joy, not people dying and not the fear part, but the shutting down of life. I was like, I've been praying to the universe to stop everything, and so that I will stop with it. So I think I was in such joy over the fact that we couldn't do anything, and it wasn't even me. Like, I can't go to the center today. I'd want to, but I can't, because the fact of the matter is I was totally exhausted, as I know a lot of you have expressed, completely at my wit's end. And I was still going around like a robot every day, just doing the same thing every day. And I was in that rut. So when COVID hit in the initial quarantine, I was like, oh my God, I get to stop. I don't have to think. I freaked out financially because all of my events, which is my income, a massive portion of my income, I freaked out going, oh my God, now we have to sell the house. We got to move. We got to do something. So freak out, but then also glee and joy. So I think that got in my way. And other than that, I think a global pandemic was so much outside of my own mental capacity that, logically, I think I let my logic go, no, the whole world is not going to shut down. Duh. So I think I let my logic go instead of actually sitting and being in the silence with it. Let's see. There's so much. Yeah. I'll address that part. There's so much negative energy that's being put out into the world. But here's the thing, you guys. Listen up. You guys hear me? Please hear me on this. This is one of my moments where I love the human condition, and I like to point to the obvious within the human condition in order for the human condition to soften. It is what I'm good at. It is what I love. It is my superpower on some days, and it's my kryptonite on other days. When we talk about the negativity that's out there, right? Whatever it is, whether it's on social media, like I just said, we're all guilty of this, myself included. So I'm not saying other people are doing this, and I'm not saying that we all do this. But the thing is, if we really want change to happen in the world, we better shut up about the negative energy outside of us, because we are contributing to the negative energy outside of us, because it is us. And then I'll get a kickback on, no, I'm peaceful and I believe in freedom and rights for everybody. Good. That's not something to be applauded. That should kind of be what comes with an educated adult, should kind of gravitate towards that naturally. And I know some don't. And usually my tribe, my people are the ones that gravitated because you're interested in the human life and condition. But the next time we all talk about that group there, or this group, or that person, and they're so this, and they're so that, that's your shit. It is 100% your stuff. The negativity in the world is a reflection of the negativity within every time. Every time. Mother Teresa, big, huge fan of her, expressed and felt negative emotions. She would be aware of them and either quell them because she didn't want to contribute to the world's negativity, or she utilized it in order to create change. But if the best way we can all stay stuck, the best way for us to not evolve is to keep blaming shit. Oh my God. Totally. Let's just keep blaming somebody. Because what's happening is we always blame someone who has the opposite view of us. Did you ever notice that? There's something to be said for that. And we all have opinions, and we all are going to stick with our opinions, and all of our opinions are 100% valid and equal, shockingly. But no one ever blames someone that thinks like them. That's a little awareness. That's a little self-introspection to look at. Wow. Interesting. People who trigger us don't agree. And instead, actually, I had an Instagram post, right, recently, and I had somebody post on my page, which is obvious. I'm used to this. I'm good. I'm starting to get fired up when people want to come at me, because I'm like, come at me, because I really like who I am. And I am so willing to go, oh my God, I am a giant asshole. You're right. I didn't see myself that way. I'm totally willing to see that. But someone recently posted on one of my Instagrams, this is ridiculous, right? That's how I read it, by the way. I don't know. Maybe she was like, this is ridiculous. Ha ha ha. Maybe she meant it in a funny way. But of course, I took it as some snide woman across the country going, this is ridiculous. That's the voice I heard in my head that I put on this total stranger. And I asked her, I caught myself getting like, what the, right? All my fur was up. And then I was like, oh, look at that, Deb. You're triggered. Why are you triggered? Someone's challenging what you're writing. This might be an opportunity for you, Deb. Okay, slow yourself down, stop with the trigger, because my trigger is contributing to the negativity of the world. My ego is hit and triggered. And you know what? My ego doesn't mean shit about anything. It doesn't mean anything. It's just my view in a particular moment in time. And the more I see that that's not important and also hold it high regard for it, that's when all this stuff happens. So I wrote to her and said, what's ridiculous? I'm curious, because all of a sudden now I was curious, like, what did I say, or how is she hearing what I'm saying? That's ridiculous, because I didn't think what I wrote was ridiculous. But of course I'm not going to think that, because I wrote it, right? And then she responded. And that's when I wanted to beat the shit out of her. Okay, so I didn't get far with it. I didn't say, oh, enlightened one, oh my God. Then I went like, okay, thanks for clarifying. Zing. Go ahead, go look at my Instagram. You can see it all there. My point is, we don't ask questions. We don't ask each other questions. We instantly blame. Humans are fallible. Humans make mistakes, and you can only complain about someone making a mistake if you've never made one. And usually the people who make complaints about people who make mistakes are the people who are constantly making mistakes, and it's much better to point out someone else's mistakes and harp on them than look inward. It is an inward game, you guys. Life. And some of us are naturally introspective, and it's like we like to do it. It's my hobby. Right? It's my hobby. And I still get triggered every other second. But I like to look at it and I like to be like, wow, look at me being such an a-hole right there. And I like myself. And I totally like myself. And I feel completely entitled to my opinion. And I feel like, oh, I'm going to stand up for myself. And I have all that's, all that behind me. I'm good. But if you're blaming outside of yourself, you are the problem, regardless of what it is. Anyone have a fix to COVID? Anybody on this call has a fix to COVID? Anybody has, the solution? No. So then our choice is, I'm going to either be a part of the solution or part of the problem. And that's where we need to start looking. So there we go. Grace. I'll get back to that, I'm sure. I think that children with special needs are suffering the most. My 9-year-old grandson's dyslexic, has sensory issues. He doesn't like the computer, covers his face when the teacher appears. This is the population in particular. I keep wondering, like, how is this even possible? And there's a part of me, although this is also not valuable or probable, is I just feel like, oh my gosh, can we let children with special needs go to school? But then, like, oh, am I saying, like, put them in harm's way because if this is so contagious, or let's put them in? I don't know. I don't know what the answers are. God bless every single school district across this world that is working on it with the interest of your children. Not money, not government this, not educators care for the most part about children. There's going to be a shitty educator, shitty administrator. They're everywhere on the whole planet. Just crappy doctors, annoying, mean nurses, a grumpy janitor. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. But, when we lump everybody into one category, it gets draining. So God bless the school districts. I keep thinking to myself, I have no suggestions. I have nothing to offer. I've written to my school saying, listen, if there's any way that you need parents to help in any way, whatever that means, what do you need help? Do you need volunteers? Somebody to do, I don't know. I could alphabetize shit. I don't know. So in the computer, I could check kids into school if we need to take their temperature and you need massive staff to do that. Like, what do we do? But can we ask what we can do? Little John F. Kennedy, not politics. I don't know what he stood for. I don't know what's right, wrong. But I do remember he said, don't ask what your country could do for you, what you could do for your country. Ask how you help. Ask how you help. Oh my gosh. Okay, Christine, I'm learning to let go of things I can't control, stay positive, doing yoga and working out, staying off social media. Yep, staying off of social media. I find myself wanting to be kinder to people through the pandemic. Absolutely, because we're all going through a really tough mental time, right? We're surviving. We're going through this pandemic. And everyone's just like, are you okay? Yeah, I'm great. Yeah, I'm great. I'm kind of not great. So, yeah. Marnie, I'm just going to ask that you please stop posting anything political because it's just not going to be helpful. This is not the forum for it. This is not a political forum. 432 hertz is said to be the natural frequency of the universe. I've learned that recently, and I've been trying to learn more about it. Supposedly, no music is made at that frequency anymore, and it contributes to negative feelings and energies. What do you think and know about this? I just did a class yesterday morning about frequency and sound and vibration, and how vibration, the beginning and origins of everything in the universe, according to a theory in science that is linking the theory of everything. And it's called string theory. You probably have heard of it. And it basically says, in quite layman terms, not scientific terms, not a physicist terms. I think you guys already know that. But basically it says every single thing at the very, 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 very bottom line, basic building block of all matter is that everything is like this vibration. It's like this tiny little string that vibrates. And as it vibrates, it creates a frequency. And frequencies align, resonate, or match with other frequencies. And therefore, as it builds, my word, not scientific world, momentum, it starts creating form. And like form attracts like form. So thoughts are included in this philosophy. It's not just matter, but every tree, every table, every human, every animal, every plant, everything, everywhere, vibrates at a frequency, and it's all over the place. But we kind of stick with the frequency that we resonate at. So with that thought, with that awareness, how does that apply to what do we do with that information as human beings that want to grow and evolve, right? Well, if everything is a frequency, and every frequency ultimately adds up to create form and manifest into something, then I think we ought to be aware of the frequency of our thoughts, And I did a class on mantras and affirmations yesterday, specifically surrounding and displaying and explaining how the frequency of your thoughts are going to be the exact correlation to the lives you're living, to the things that are happening. And then, yes, curveballs are thrown in. Global pandemic, so that's global frequency caused by the consciousness of the globe, collective consciousness of the globe. But yeah, things happen also. So it doesn't mean like you're going along swimmingly and then somebody you know and love is killed in a car accident. It's not like, oh my God, I was vibing at a low frequency. But so that's a curveball that's thrown into life. But for the most part, we're all operating on a frequency. Now start thinking and paying attention to your inner dialogue. Is your inner dialogue constantly negative? Is it blaming? Is it shaming? Is it saying so-and-so's an idiot? Is it saying you're an idiot? What is your inner dialogue doing? And if you say, I don't have an inner dialogue, then you really need this work, because then it means you're not aware that you indeed have an inner dialogue. We are shown to have between 60 to 90,000 thoughts a day. 60 to 90,000. So we are only aware of a teeny number of that. All of our thoughts add up. All of those thoughts are little vibrations. If you are constantly finding yourself angry and negative and sad and depressed, it's because your inner dialogue is vibrating at a lower frequency. Whereas you are naturally thinking of optimism and a positive light, then you are going to naturally vibrate at a higher frequency. However, listen on this, is we don't want, your body and energy doesn't lie. So when we're taught to be positive, just think positive and everything's going to be great, but you're feeling really miserable and sad and down, depressed or angry, you can't lay positivity over shit and expect it to be a cake, right? There's a Deborah-ism right there, but you can't do that. It's not going to happen. So what's always true and real, the truth of how you feel, is far more important than the positive or negative nature of it. It's more about, where am I at right now? Wow. When I pay attention to my daily thoughts and I see that from the minute I wake up, I'm thinking of I'm anticipating stress, I'm anticipating anger, I'm not liking my life, I'm not enjoying my shower, the food's not right, the coffee isn't done right, I don't like my job, or my kids are driving me crazy, my spouse is this, it's endless, and then it's endless. What do you think your vibrational pattern is going to be at? Probably not that great. So you want to catch it and own it. Own your negativity. Be like, wow, I did not realize how negative I am. I did not realize how my inner critic and inner dialogue is so miserable. You don't tell yourself, God, I'm so bad for that. God, I'm like a terrible person. No, you're a human being, and that's what we do until we don't. Once you intercept the system, then you intercept the vibration, which then intercepts where you vibe at. So I like this question. I kind of went on a tangent on it, but it really does tie into a whole class I did yesterday. That's why mantras are cool, because mantras are certain frequencies and vibrations that we don't attach meaning to. And once we don't attach meaning, we give our brain something to focus on, the mantra, and that vibrates at a certain frequency, and that is actually changing our brain waves. Total science proving it. So a lot to be talked about that. A lot. Is that helpful or not? It's fun. I love this shit. Oh my God. One moment, please. Okay. When I first meet someone, what's the first thing I usually tune into? Example, physical traits, energy, mannerisms. Depends. If I'm meeting somebody and it's like a social situation, unconsciously, I'm aware of both my own social discomfort and that person. Is it physical traits? Maybe. I guess it depends. I think it's just the energy. I'd lump it all in. Am I reading them? No, not in a social situation. I'm totally not. I'm more reactive or responding to my own social discomfort. Believe it or not, people do not think I'm shy, but oh my God, I hate social situations. I hate them. Hi, how are you? I'm Joanne. Oh, hi, Joanne. Nice to meet you. And I'm all of a sudden like, oh my God, Joanne thinks I'm a dork. Oh my God, Joanne thinks, she thinks I'm a medium and I'm like a crackhead. Somewhere in me, there's this something that happens, and I am shy, and I like to belong in a group, but I like to kind of feel my way through. So socially, I'm more aware of my own discomfort. Intuitively in a session, their energy, their thoughts, their behavior, their vibration is what I'm feeling. One word sometimes can completely make me totally understand where someone's coming from in a way. Energetically coming from, obviously I don't know the details, but that's an interesting question. So it's different. It depends. If it's Debbie, what is Debbie in regular situations showing up as? If it's Deborah, it's a different story. I wish I could walk around as Deborah all day, but I just don't. I don't know why. I'm so connected to my ego of Debbie. I don't know. I don't know why. I do. I just do. Let's see. It's a great question. These are good questions tonight. Thank you, Carolyn. A lot of my special needs students are high risk. See, that's why we can't go back. We can't do that. But I just feel like so much attention. I honestly, people are going to hate me for this, but I feel like you have an honor student. Go with God, but go read some books, go do some research, go figure out what you want to do. And let's kind of like melt down the group of the population that really, 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 really needs education, and what kind of education do they need. And like everyone else kind of is in their own like virtual Montessori. That's what I feel like would be helpful, but that's not an answer either. I'm not delusional. My son goes back to college 3 days. Last year was his first year. Extremely hard for both of us. Mine too. I know it was my son's first year too. Will this year be better? Okay, that's more of a personal, intuitive question. So I don't really take those all the time through this format. But my gosh, I think that first year of college is terrible. I just literally, before I got on here, was talking with a friend of mine whose son went away to college. And I really think kids that really, really love college, like the first like week or month, are the kids that like had no freedom at home. I could be wrong. Don't bash me. But like my kids have some freedom here. Like I'm not like Gestapo here. I'm aware I don't allow anything to happen, but I pretty much trust them. I do. I know they're kids. They're going to do stupid stuff too. And, if there's a consequence, they pay for it. Is somebody coming in? I thought I heard somebody. Maybe it's an energy. But I feel like the kids that love college are the ones that like, woohoo, nobody's looking. Now I'm going to go do all sorts of stuff. And everyone else that has a hard time, they kind of like already had that. So that's not like exciting to them. Plus I think it's just awful. I hated my first year of college. I went to Fordham University and left a week before the semester ended, which was one of the most regretful decisions of my life. One of. Still, to this day, where I'm like, wow, wish I had better guidance on that decision. Just stick it out for the semester, Deb. Be fine. It all worked out. It did, but so I pray for all those first year's college students, second year college students. I pray for all humanity because we're all screwed emotionally. I watch a lot less on the news. Everyone is guessing about the virus, and Democrats and Republicans, I can guess too. Why bother? Let me know what their outcomes. Yep, I agree. I feel like you literally just read me. I'm trying to get out of my own head and stress in life with toddlers. I love Monday nights. I love that. Let's see. Very helpful. Thanks. Could you explain what a mantra is? I thought it was a repetitive, positive thing you wanted to manifest. Great question. A mantra is I'm not going to say it's a word. It is a word. I mean, it could be written in word, but a mantra is a sound that we use in meditation to refocus our brain so that it quiets and pulls our attention away from the busy mind or the monkey mind and puts our focus on the mantra. And what that does is then it calms down the place in our brain that is so busy, it's called the default mode network, that part of the brain, with so busy with, and this is why we're anxious, by the way, the default mode network of our brain is responsible for our anxiety because we're thinking about the past, worrying about the future, worrying about our own, what people think of us, how we should behave and act. That's that part that governs, or that part of the brain governs some of that. And yet in meditation and mantra meditation, or transcendental meditation, giving a mantra is a sound for your mind to focus on, to shh everything else. So mantras, like Om is a mantra. Any amen is a mantra. Any word can be a mantra, although I just did a lot of research on this, and this makes sense to me, is that really the whole point of the mantra is to have a vibration to focus on. And any word that we use, it could work, but we also have already a human thought and identity about a particular word. So if I said, all right, let's use tree as our mantra, we could repeat tree, 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 tree over and over. But the limitation there is a tree. We know we have a concept of a tree. And so instantly we're feeding our mind some data about a tree. And then the mind starts to not focus on tree, but it's going, what kind of tree? An apple tree? Green apple tree? Red apple tree? It's fall. In the fall, we have trees. And then the apples, and then I love those cider donuts. My God. And the brain goes haywire. So a mantra has nothing attached to it, no other form, which helps us to stay focused on just that. So an affirmation is a set or a string of words or a word that we repeat to ourselves to, I use the term, reset ourselves back away from negative thinking towards better thinking. And affirmations, like I always think of Stuart Smalley from Saturday Night Live, like, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me. That's what we are taught affirmations are. We are taught to say, I am free and I am loving. I am wonderful, I am thin, I am fit. But again, like I said before, our energy field knows when we're lying to it. So if we keep saying, I'm thin and I'm fit, and the real emotional pattern is, God, I'm miserable because I'm overweight and feeling gross, you want to meet yourself there first. And you want to find a mantra or an affirmation, that kind of matches where you're at. So instead of I'm thin and fit and wealthy and beautiful and amazing, it's I'm okay with myself in this moment is a better affirmation than these higher ones. We can work towards, when I say higher, that doesn't mean better, but we can work towards them. It was such a cool moment in coaching yesterday when one of the participants, I haven't seen him on here tonight, we discovered his mantra or his affirmation. It came from him, and that was exhilarating. People are still talking about it. People are messaging me, oh my God, that was so great when so-and-so had that breakthrough with his affirmation. So it's powerful, powerful, powerful stuff. And good questions, Sue. Maria, when I first met you, I was soothed by your energy. I love to hear that. I really do. I think my kids would disagree. Today I was kind of moving things around in the studio because I'm going to redo things. And my finger got caught in a tripod that I was lifting to move somewhere else, and it pinched. And God forbid I feel a nanosecond of pain. And I was like, ow! I did the whole cursing, whatever. And I'm like, damn it! Why do I get hurt? Right? It wasn't a big deal. I was like a little dramatic. But totally furious that I pinched my finger and sweating and the whole deal. And my kids are helping and they're lifting heavy stuff for me and they're being so amazing, right? And here I am like, wah! And poor Chris is just like, you all right, Mom? You okay? Because I know he's not soothed by my energy in that moment. So thank you for saying I soothe your energy, but I'm not always soothing by any means. Let's see. Okay. Hello, Margie. Your sister had a dream where someone was saying her name. That's actually very common. She woke up and no one was there. There's a phrase, there's a name for that. It'll come to me. Well, it's clairaudience is part of it, but there's a word for that. It's fascinating. Has anyone ever had that? I love when I have that, because it's like, oh my God. And usually when it happens, and it's not like a frequent thing, maybe 5 times in my life, it's usually like I was going to oversleep and I hear Deb, and then I'm like, what? Oh my God, somebody woke me up. So what do they mean? I don't know. I don't know what they mean. I think it's just to like grab our attention. There could be a lot of different meanings. Let's see. Hello, Serena. How do you explain feeling such a strong connection to a soul? I have to read over this little light here. We got to move that. Oh, wait, you know what I could probably do? Move my computer. Simple solution, huh? Look at that. I fixed it. How do you explain feeling such a strong connection to a soul that's completely unavailable? Is that infatuation? Also reading your book. It's so amazing. Oh my God. What? Thank you. Serena, where did you hear about like the book, and where are you tuning into from too? Because I like to know where you guys are. Strong connection to a soul that's completely unavailable is probably some hardcore inner child stuff. To be honest, it's probably an unconscious desire to gain attention from someone you didn't feel loved from before, and you're still trying to like prove to yourself that you are capable of loving or being loved. So yes, it could be like a soul thing, it could be a past life thing, it could be a twin flame thing, but on a real human world, day-to-day level, which is the level we are at and the level that we experience heartache and joy, which is the level that I really want to address with people, because there are ways we can tweak the way we live and experience heartache and joy. So that's the level I want to deal with. So I would say that there was some intense feelings of not being loved or loved enough or being able to love someone else early on in your life. That is a gross replay. Also, it could be in addition to that, and you can let me know if that's like accurate or totally off. But it also could be an unconscious desire to win, to be right. You know, it could be that. I don't think so for you. What would else be a strong connection to someone who's unavailable? Could be jealousy, unconscious jealousy. If someone's available because they're with someone else, it could be an unconscious like, why do they have love and I don't, which goes back to earlyhood. It's totally from childhood. Childhood meaning 0 to 15-ish. So what do you think about that? I dream of my dad in his healthy state, but only recently started having a dream of my mom not sick. Any meaning or significance? Oh yeah, so you used to have dreams of your mom being sick, and recently she hasn't been sick. It is an indication that your grief and fear of her passing and being physically gone is lifting. It doesn't mean it's removed forever, but it's lifting. So when you start to experience your loved ones in a dream in a positive way, the healthy, happy, whole, with you, present, all of that, that's usually that either visitation or it's your grief is being able to like say, okay, everything's okay. I'm sad and I miss this person, but I'm becoming okay. And again, becoming okay is a generalized term, because what does okay mean when we're talking about grief? Okay, I know you feel less than excited about social engagement, but you certainly don't come across as that, but I totally agree. Awkwardness is real. No, I do. On a social setting, like I don't enjoy superficial social interaction whatsoever. And that's not good. I'm not saying like, yeah, no, I really want deep talking. I'm not saying that. I'm uncomfortable with social interaction, but I'm also like, it doesn't fire me up. Like it's inappropriate for me to be like, hi, my name is Deborah. What do you think your greatest achievement in your life has been? What's been the hardest thing you've ever had to overcome? What is something that you want your legacy to be? Like, that's the stuff I really want to know about people. But what we normally do, and it would be totally inappropriate, and you'd be totally creeped out by me if I did that. Like, okay, slow down, sister. And I'd be creeped out if someone did that to me, maybe. But at the same time, like usually what we're doing, hi, we're Deb. Oh, hi, how are you? Good. Yeah, good. You're good? Yeah, I'm good too. Meanwhile, they're like, I'm kind of dying inside, but I'm fine. I'm great. Yeah, no. Oh yeah, I love their steak here. Me too. Their steak is fabulous. And then I'm like, I don't give a fuck about their steak. You know what I mean? So I find that to be very draining. However, it's inappropriate for me to like just go into like let's get real mode. That's not appropriate either. But once I know I can go real with someone, I'll totally talk about steak for like 4 hours. I'll be like, is this not amazing steak? Who's the cook? I need to know the cook. Where'd he go to school? Who's his teacher? His teacher's amazing. He should talk to his teacher. You really should be recognized for your steak. You know what I mean? Like, then I'm totally cool with the superficial. So I'm not superficial, but social interaction that has to be like pleasantries. Ugh, I hate it. I get tense. Poor Greg, who's totally social, who could totally talk about nothing, right? Totally. And be like, that was a great time. And I'd be like, it was horrible. I hate my life and I hate everyone. And he's like, I thought it was a nice night. And I'm like, no, it was a nice night, but I'm drained. Yeah. So that's insight to Deb and Greg. But although now we're hermits and we never go out and do anything social. But if I do anything social with you, that's huge. Because I don't. And I won't do it. I just won't. I won't do it. And if you've ever asked me to do something social and it hasn't happened yet, it's not because I won't do it with you. It's just also that it hasn't also happened yet. But the thought of social interaction is draining. And in the past, I have to admit, I have often felt, not all the time, certainly not with my friends, but I often feel that people want to talk to me so I can tell them more stuff about themselves, which is draining. So I don't want to do that all the time either. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like in social interaction has to be a give and take too. We both need to be getting something out of this. And if I feel like someone's just asking me outside of work, obviously outside of session and classes and all of that stuff, then I get tired. Just like when a doctor gets asked, like, I've had this backache for 6 months, they'll probably be like, yeah, you should make an appointment with me. It feels the same way. Do I sound like an idiot by saying that and really rude? I hope not, but that's my truth. Carol is saying I'm soothing. Where are my children? Are they hearing this? Are they watching this? Would you ever consider making your own affirmation oracle cards? Amber? Yes. Yes, I would. And I know the perfect artist. I haven't seen her on here yet, but I know the perfect artist who should be designing them. Yep. So I have thought about it. Will it happen? I'm sure it'll happen, yeah. But will it happen in this century? No. Will it happen this year? No. I got so much going on. But yes, I have totally thought about it because I love those cards that I use every day in the coaching program. Every day in my coaching program, for those who are not in it, I pick a card, like a piece. It's called the peace card. And I'd read it, I video it, we talk about it, like briefly. It's like 2 minutes long at the most. Just your daily little, like, oh, here's something to think about. So yes, I do love those. They're not like tarot cards or anything like that. I made a soul collage years ago. Oh, wait, sorry, hold on, Bonnie. I just had a thought. Right here, up here, says these words here. For those who could not commit to the 12-week coaching program, I put it out a year ago, an online course that you do on your own time. It's not live at all. Like, you log on and log off whenever you can do the exercises. And it's all about identifying and upgrading your vibration. And I sound like I'm a sales. I feel like I'm a Crazy Eddie. Remember him? Oh my God, I just totally felt like I'm Crazy Eddie. But it's 50% off. But it's until Sunday, it's 50% off. to get this online course. Just, it talks about what is getting in your way and what's slowing down your vibration. Where are you resonating with more of the negative stuff, which we all are, and it's totally fine, but it's also totally fixable. And then where are the higher parts of our life? So I guarantee there's a direct correlation to where you have positive thoughts, you have positive outcomes or better feeling outcomes. If you love to see your grandchild all the time, your time with your grandchild is probably very joyful. But if you feel burdened by having to watch a child or another person's child or grandchild, your thoughts are attached to that, and it's probably even more burdensome to watch that person. So look at your life. Where things are negative and heavy, your thoughts about that thing are what's creating the negativity and heaviness. So this class kind of gets you started on that whole, it's totally like the beginner's guide to Deborah's vibrational talk. Very simple. I walk you through. You can do it in your own time. I think it's, is it 4 hours of content? I feel like someone said that. I don't remember because I made it over a year ago, but it's $48 right now. It's normally $97. So it's only till Sunday for total real. It's only until Sunday. So that's, the link is somewhere. Oh, link is in description below. Just click show more. Thanks, Greg. I'll post, it's also posted on Facebook, and it's also on my website. If you go to deborahhanlon.com and then you go to shop and then you go to online courses, it's there. There's 2 courses there. Identify and upgrade your vibration is the one that's 50% off. There is a coupon code. I hate the word coupon, but there's a coupon code. You click it to order it, and it says enroll now, and you click to enroll now, and it says $97. Don't freak out. And then there's a button or a tab that says apply coupon code, and that's where you write 50, the numbers 50 off, and then it applies. And it only applies for the one-time payment. I couldn't get the system to make it happen and break it into 2 payments. So if you press the 2 payment option, you're not going to get the 50% off. It doesn't apply, and I don't know why. That's a technical glitch that I had no patience to figure out, to be totally honest. So it's that pay in one payment option, but that's out there. All right, Bonnie, sorry to leave you hanging. I made a soul collage years ago while going through cancer. It was so helpful in understanding my thoughts and feelings. Any suggestions on how to do another? Magazines aren't as available now. Oh, yeah. Well, you could always print. If you have a printer, you could print things out from the computer. We just did, in the coaching program, just did a whole session and chapter on values, and values and soul collage. I mean, they're same but different, but our value system and our core values, in other words, what is really, truly important to us. The work around values is so, no pun intended, valuable. As far as finally connecting to your intuitive self. And when I prepared for this class, I'd never put these 2 things together. And when we're out of alignment with our values, we are totally out of alignment with our intuition. If you work 70 hours a week, but you value family more than success or money, no matter how much money you make, you're going to not feel good because you're away from your family, even though that's your core value. That's what's really important to you. But you're working, yes, to provide for this family, but you're not feeling good because you're out of alignment with what's really matters and what's important to you. And once we start finding out what our values are, then we can start getting, we can feel our way through when we're going against our values, and then we can redirect our sales. So I would really, for you, consider thinking of in terms of your values, and find images or words or thoughts that pertain to those values for your collage. Does that help? Christina, this is really weird, but usually when I read your book, I'm propped up in bed. I swear I always see something out of the corner of my eye, almost like peering around the book. I usually read at the end of the night, but it's only your book. Maybe it's in my head, or maybe I'm just going crazy. Could be both. Crazy and in your head. My book, knowing what the book is about, which is the afterlife, and knowing a facet of my work, which is mediumship or has been mediumship, it's probably that your mind is in alignment with the afterlife and connection and all sorts of things like that. So it is naturally making you sense and feel and become aware of that stuff. So if you were reading a book about Hansel and Gretel, why the hell that one came to my head, I don't know. But your mind would also probably be more geared to seeing candy somewhere. Or why candy? Because didn't they go to that candy house and eat it? That's why that came up. Or cheese or crumbs because they were sprinkling it. My point is because of the type of book, I think it's also eliciting that experience. Not to say that the experience isn't real, but it's aligning you with the reality and possibility of it. That makes sense? Yeah. What does it mean when you see same number for days? I see 166, whether your address or 166 comments, room number of patient. Should I play lotto? Hell yeah, play lotto, girl. Hell yeah. This is one of those things, and I don't ever want to seem like I'm disenchanting or disillusioning or getting us away from our spirituality. But with what I'm about to say, it really, the intent is to fine tune your spirituality and not get yourselves away from it. But part of what being human is that we have this infatuation, to use the word earlier before, which I liked, with meaning. We need to assign meaning to everything to feel alive, to feel supported, to feel reality, to not feel separation. We need meaning. But it's a very human thing. Like our animals are not searching for meaning. They're searching for survival, and they're searching for what feels good to them. So it's a part of being human. It's not a bad part of being human, but it's a part that we need to be aware of. Like, how often are we trying to find meaning in something to the point where it starts to drive us crazy and away from our intuition? Meaning comes from the logical mind, comes from the brain. And the brain has an incessant need to find and attach meaning to everything. And it takes us away from the present moment because now we're searching for what does that mean? Instead, when you have that number or whatever it is that you all see or experience, stop in that moment and be in the moment with the 166 or the 1117 or the butterfly or the overwhelming feeling of safety and security that passes by, or you were just talking to your loved one and their name passes on the truck. You'll find yourself trying to go to meaning, which takes you right out of the experience, which totally negates this experience, which then makes us crave more of it. And it takes us away from our intuition. It takes us away from our presence and our being. So although it comes up all the time, meaning, because we're human and it's going to, pay attention to it and realize, oh my gosh, the minute I went into my head, I lost the feeling of this. Just appreciate the feeling of it. But you'll say, but I don't know what I'm feeling. Well, then that's what you need to dive into. What is this making me feel every time I see this? Am I feeling like, okay, I'm on the right track? Am I feeling guided? Am I feeling secure, safe? What are you feeling in the moment? And then you can say that's the meaning of it. It's a good question. Interesting take from New York. I heard about the book right here. Awesome. Thank you. What's the one thing you'd like others to remember about you? Because I don't like superficial commentary. That I cared, that I was kind. That would be really important. That would be an important legacy. That you felt heard and cared for and nurtured, but not enabled by me, but that I was kind. I had a friend in high school. Jason, his name is, I have two, well, my longest friend, Buddy Jay, is from second grade. And then I have another friend, Jason, from high school. And Jason had a rough high school years. I mean, who the hell didn't? We all know who didn't, but where are they now? But anyway, he had rough years, right? For whatever reasons. And at prom, senior prom, he asked me to dance. And I said, yeah, and we danced. And it was senior prom, and everyone's awkward. And my God, if I think I'm awkward at 44, I was certainly freaking awkward in high school prom. And I think I was so dorky and nerdy in high school. Oh my God, so embarrassing. But anyway, like I was the one that would be like, the teacher said to stop talking. Hello, we have an assignment to do. That was me. Like, oh my God, Deb, be a rebel, but whatever. So I danced with him whenever we went on with life. And about 10, maybe 15 years after that, we reconnected through Facebook. And he said, I have to reach out to you and I want to thank you for something. And I was like, oh my God, Jay, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. He said, you danced with me at the prom, which I remembered. And he said, that made my world. That made me feel so happy because I was so nervous to ask you to dance, and it made me so happy. And I've never, ever forgotten it my whole life. What to me, I could meet Oprah, which would be pretty kind of cool, or Deepak Chopra, which would be really kind of cool to me. I do kind of want to work with Deepak, but anyway, that feeling of working with Oprah or Chopra and anyone else with Oprah or Pra in their name, it couldn't be better than that to me. Honestly, my value is kindness. My value is not to always be a shithead. And a lot of people do think I'm a shithead, right? And I'm salty. I'm not going to be quiet if I don't feel like I need to be. But that's important. That's a value to me. So that's one I would like people to remember about me. Let's see. I like that question, Carol. Thank you. You probably answered my question before I did. Signing up. I recently came across a story about an Australian boy who was saying things at 2 that made his parents think he was really Princess Diana's reincarnation. I have not heard of this boy. How freaking cool is that? Can you talk about reincarnation? I love reincarnation. It's a thing, right? It's a thing. It's been a thing. Reincarnation, the concept of it. It's been a thing for thousands of years. It's mainly been an Eastern thing. It evolved either from or out of or because of particular religious or spiritual beliefs. And it's still extremely new to the West, which is sad. So children who are raised in the East and raised with this natural assumption that reincarnation is real tend to remember and talk about their past lives much freely and more easily than children who are not raised with the verbiage and the possibility as reincarnation. And usually parents, we miss their signals and their signs of something being past life because we're not aware of it. So it's pretty cool. I've not heard about this particular boy. That's thrilling to me. I have to look it up now. But it's a thing. It's a thing. When we say we're all one, we are literally all the same being, having different vantage points of the same experience differently. And so if he has memory of being Princess Diana in another lifetime, in his previous lifetime, he is him. He is who he is, this little boy. He's not Princess Diana now, but he's him now, with the consciousness and awareness of one time being Princess Diana, which is very similar to, in my opinion, the physics involved with mediumship. Like, I don't know why or how mediums can feel the personalities of the people they're bringing through, but because it is, I am them in that moment. And I suspend my own ego self and my identity self for them as much as possible in the moment of mediumship. And I am sort of breathing through the life of somebody else's experiences, which then helps bring messages across. I don't think that I'm answering your question right. Yeah, do you remember what the little boy said? That's a great question, Maria. Do you remember what the little boy said that made his parents feel like he was Princess Diana? Yes, yes, yes. Let's see, I love the cards. The mom got a card with Diana on it and said, that's me as a princess. He was 4 at that time. Google it. It's really interesting. Billy was his name. Love it. So fascinating. Then I have succeeded. You're very kind. I don't think I answered the question really well, so let me know a little bit more specifically. Janine, I saw you and I thought of that 1117. Thank you. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up button, you guys. Let's see. saw a story about a boy in reincarnation of Lou Gehrig. It was pretty funny to hear him talk about the other players from back then. I did see that one. Carol Bowman, who I've talked about all the time, is a past life regressionist. She lives in Philadelphia area. And she used to come to my center and do classes and do a group regression, which was so fascinating. And she worked with many kids, but she worked on a book called Soul Survivor, if I'm not mistaken, about a little boy named James. And there was what not CNN, but it was kind of like a 2020 show. It wasn't 2020, but it was one of those type of shows where there was a whole like half-hour special dedicated to this kid's story, and he kept his name in this life was James. And his parents noticed that when he was about 3 or 4, he started writing James and then 1, 2, 3, like the third, but like Roman numerals. And they were like, that's interesting. Like, he's not James the third. And at first I thought it was like, cause he was 3 and he was writing 3 cause he was 3 years old, even though he wasn't writing the number 3, if I'm remembering this correctly. So they ignored it. But then all of a sudden he saw a picture of a Japanese island and he said to his parents, oh my God, that's where I was shot down. And they were like, what are you talking about? And he knew all this information about a boat and a ship and a time frame and what happened, and his buddy died and da 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 da. He remembered names. And then he saw himself in a picture. He said, that's my friend. So long story short, you've got to look this up. Soul Survivor is the book. And then there was this video about it, where he got to actually go back to the spot where he died in that lifetime, where his plane was shot down in World War II. And he was able to put a wreath in honor of him, who... Little James, the guy's name was James the Third in that lifetime. He was able to honor his own passing in this lifetime. How cool is that? You've got to watch it. It's pretty freaking cool. Let's see. Okay. What are your thoughts on invisible friends? Many children have them, possibly them being more open to the spiritual energies. Yeah. Invisible friends, I think, are a thing. I think it's... Yeah, I think it's definitely I don't want to say mediumship, because that word drives me crazy. It's kind of like seance drives me crazy, because it kind of like cheapens it down and makes it sound all weird. But it's definitely connecting with someone somewhere. I remember having like tea parties and talking deeply in my backyard. Would have a little table set up, and I remember having those tea parties and talking all the time, and talking for the toys and talking, the whole thing. I was like that kid. And then I grew up to be like, your teacher's talking, you guys, shh. We don't want to disturb the class, and we want to get our assignment so I can do my homework before the end of the day. That was me at school. So it went from talking to animals to being nerdy to talking to dead people to now. It's been my life. But yeah, I do think invisible friends are a thing. But we have to be careful as parents not to say, oh my God, maybe he's talking to grandpa. Like, let the kids have their experience. Do not try to put your own stuff in it and on it. That's super important. You guys have good questions tonight. Random and all over the place and all over. What else do you guys have? Anything else? While there's a pause here. Meditation Sunday nights, it's pretty much just like this. I'm telling you guys, people always say, oh my gosh, Deborah, I want to do meditation. I don't have time for it. And I get it. But I'm telling you, that is powerful. That is like step 1 of you're finding yourself, you're reconnecting yourself. So that's Sunday night's meditation. What's this Sunday? It's the 23rd. And then I don't have meditation on the 30th. And then I have meditation all through every Sunday in September. My online classes, it's not too late to still join coaching. We can still catch you up. So we've only done it for a week now. So we're only a week into it. We've done a lot. We've had, oh my God, 4 workshops in a week. but it's pretty intense and powerful and a fun group. So it's not too late if you are still interested in that. You could email the office, info@beingknowingdoing.com. Let's see. I pretended to have an invisible friend when I was a kid. His name was Melvin, and he was from the French Riviera. It drove my family nuts. Yeah. And in that time, we were taught to like quiet. I mean, I wasn't, thankfully. My mother did not. Well, I wasn't displaying any mediumship or anything like that as a kid, but my mom always did let me be who I was, and I was very open with conversing with her. Thank goodness. But yeah, in that time, it would be like, people are going to think you're a little weird, which I'm sure with respect to my mother, I'm sure that if I said, Mom, I see Chris and my brother who died, and he's talking to me, I'm pretty sure she would have been highly concerned if it played out that way. So I don't think she would have been like, great, let's develop this into a life for you. I don't think it would have worked out that way. I think she would have been concerned. Knowing the family DNA and history and all that stuff would have not been good. It all happened the way it's supposed to. When my dad was dying, I had this moment when we looked in each other's eyes and time and space melted away, and there was the recognition of knowing him forever. What was that? It was an intense experience. That is the unity consciousness. That is knowing that Susan and Deborah and Janine and Bonnie and Maria and Carol and everybody tuning in on this, that we're not separate. We're not. We're all the same. And that we're connected by the fact that we appear different, which should connect us because we get to say, oh my God, I never got to experience myself in your form, or you experiencing me in my form. We don't look at it that way. We go, oh, that shithead, this person, or oh, that lovely person, that one. We don't come from a spiritual angle ever with each other. And basically everyone we meet is a reflection of a part of ourselves. It's a mirror. But nobody ever goes, wow, look at my mirror. Everyone goes, wow, they're an idiot. Wow, look how ignorant they are. That's what we do, right? And it's not accurate. It's not correct. It's not okay. It is what we do. And the trick is becoming aware of it and stopping yourself, because otherwise we're contributing to the collective consciousness of ego and separation and division. So the flip to that is knowing that we're all the same. We're all one. We're all having an experience. And when you can catch yourself being a jerk, intolerant, triggered, annoyed, which will happen and does happen, catch it and realize this is your stuff brought out by someone else or brought out by the other version of yourself, which is pretty kind of cool. Let's see. I had a friend, Kenny, and she had a dog named Poodle. I wasn't pretending. I'd love to hear from him now. So start talking to her now. Totally. I love that. That sounds like a great children's book too. Like Kenny, and she had a dog named Poodle, and her name, it's a girl, Kenny. Like I just love her already. So I would talk to her, Bonnie, and just bring her back to life through your imagination. Just imagine that she's there and imagine you're having a conversation to see what comes from. Why do some people come through during galleries and sessions and others don't? Number one reason well, there's many, but I would say the top two. If they were very private energies here in physical life there, and they wouldn't like stand up in front of a group and say, hey, I'm here and I want to talk. They are less likely, but I used to get that all the time. People who were very shy, they'd come through in a gallery. So it doesn't mean a shy person will never come through a gallery. It just means like, think about how they'd behave if they were here in the physical. Would so-and-so get on the chair and be like, excuse me, Deborah, or would they just kind of take a back seat? So look at their personality as you knew them to have. Second is your own personality. If you're not comfortable with crowds and audiences, if you're very private and you're concerned, like, oh God, I hope they come through, but I'm worried they're going to bring up such and such, they're probably not going to come through. Hi, I have a guest with me.
I don't feel like cleaning my room.
You don't feel like cleaning your room? It's Jack. Hi, handsome.
I interrupt.
You never interrupt. So it would be those two reasons, Carol. Their personality, or you as the person in the seat's personality. How are you?
If they're not selling a used car.
Go ahead.
Is anyone selling a used car or know anyone selling a used car? Thank you.
How was work?
It's good.
Jack has been saving for a new car. So if anyone has a good car, that's not crappy, let him know. Message his mother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Aw, look at you.
Says something in that movie. I'm so tired.
You're so tired. We look alike.
Look at my head.
I know. Look at our hair. God.
Look how bad. I didn't realize how bad I shaved because I was doing it and the light was off. Like the mirror was foggy.
I don't really see it that bad. Oh, down. Oh, yeah. Got it. Yeah. Me too. I got some chin hairs myself. Need to shave them. Everyone's saying hi. You don't say. Let's see. Ooh. Oh. I'm jealous. That sounded great. Oh my God, because you're here. But oh my God, because you don't want to clean your room.
Huh.
Yeah. Jack is moving down to the basement, which is basically like having his own apartment down here. Because he's going to keep the bathroom clean and everything neat and tidy. And in order for his brother to take his room, he still's got to get all his crap out of his old room. But it's not, so it's preventing your brother from moving into his room. Oh, but he will be. We're grooming him back into coming back.
I just need Greg's help with the desk, taking it apart. That's why it's waiting.
Yeah, I know, because that requires a screwdriver.
So tired. I don't want to do it. Right?
Oh my gosh. What time do you have to go to work tomorrow?
2 to 9.
Oh, good. You'll have plenty of time in the morning to do it. Where's your dog? Maria said. Is he down here?
No.
Oh, God, Baker. We need to show them Baker. He got big. I mean, he's still little, like he's a little dog. We realized he's a mid-sized dog, which Jack is not happy about because he was hoping that he was going to have a big, giant German Shepherd. But he's a mid-sized dog, which I think is perfect because he's just perfect. Yeah, boys and bleach don't mix. Yeah. Actually, boys just need bleach. I feel like everything just needs to be bleached. Maybe we could see him next week. Good time to purge the stuff. I know Jack is one that I'm surprised with this. He's the hoarder. He doesn't like to get rid of things. So, I find out like what he really doesn't want, but he like doesn't want to get rid of it. I'm like, no, I get it. You probably should get rid of it though. But Mom, and we have this back and forth, and then I'm gonna lose the battle. So then I just throw it away in my own timing. Hi, he's here. I have to talk in a high-pitched voice. He's got a toy with him.
Oh my God.
Hi, Baker.
This is my first time picking him up since we got him.
Oh my God, we loved him. I love this doggy so much. Hi, look, everybody's saying hi to you. Heavy. He is heavy. Remember when we put him up on here? Mm-hmm. Do you remember that? Greg was worried you're going to go pee-pee everywhere. Oh my God. I have his toy. Oh, I love him, you guys. I cannot cope. For those of you who don't know me, I hated dogs until I met him. He opened, and now I'm the lady at Chadwick Park in particular. When I see someone passing by with the dog, I'm like, oh, hi, what's the doggie's name? I'm becoming less unsocial because of dogs, because I now understand the love that people felt for their dogs. I get it now. I didn't get it before. I'd be like, why would you basically adopt a child with fur? Is what I used to think. He's a little sweetie. He's nervous. He's got a nervous personality. He got so big. No mistaking whose son you are. I know. We do look so much alike. No one has a car yet. Purging is good with new intentions. You see that? So getting rid of all the stuff that you don't want or need. No, you want it because you hold on to it unnecessarily.
Yeah, no, I don't like throwing that stuff.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love this doggy. He's like great. Oh, great. He's gonna. That starts getting annoying. The dog toy thing that we like when he gets to the point of chewing the little squeaker toy out of the toy, then he likes to chew the toy. We like that part. So yeah, it's almost a new moon. So at the new moon, it is good to, or before the new moon, it's good to purge some stuff. So it's a good time to get rid of stuff. It opens you up to new. Maybe that's what's going to bring your car to you.
Cleaning my room?
Yeah, when you get rid of a lot of stuff. You know, when you create a void in space, that void needs to be filled. But if you have too much stuff, there's no void. And so therefore clutter adds on. That's the spiritual view. Oh, he's laying on the floor right in between I'll take a picture and I'll post it. Oh, you'll also get to see that I'm wearing sweatpants. Blue ones that don't match. All right, you guys. Well, next Monday we'll be back. I hope I see you on Meditation Sunday. I'm also doing a chakra workshop Sunday morning, all through Zoom. So if you are interested in that, go to my website, get all the details. Let me know how you guys are enjoying the book. For those of you who are just getting it and reading it now, I like that feedback. And anytime you have a question about the book, by all means, post it here. So thank you for sticking around with me every Monday night. I'm impressed. You guys are amazing. So I'll see you whenever I see you next. Stay well, be well. Oh, that's fun. And have a good one, everyone. Good night. Bye.